Hi. So, I'm going to settle a debate once for all about plastic in the ocean. And I'm going to run a little experiment. So, I've got fresh water in here. I've got the equivalent amount of salt. It's about 9 grams per cup of salt right here to go into the water. So, I'll do that now. There we go. And then I've got different stones. So right here, this is sand from the Cayman. This is sand from North Carolina, and this is South Carolina river water from the bottom of the Cooper River. So what I'm gonna do with this stuff is I'm also going to load it into the container, okay? So the only things that are going in here are stuff that nature has in it. And what I'm going to do is run an experiment. My hypothesis is that there will be some deterioration in these items after I run it for a couple weeks. Now, granted, every piece of plastic ever made has been, is still around, so some plastic has been in the ocean for about 100 years. But right now, I'm going to cut it there, and no, keep going.
All right, done.
Go? All right. So, every piece of plastic, as I said earlier, that's ever been made is still out there. So I'm going to take some common pieces of plastic that you would find. Now here is a CVS brand flosser, and notice there's a little indentation above the S. So I want to measure that now. The floss is still intact. In it goes. We've got half a container of bubble wrap. Bubble gum, whatever. It also has a frictioned edge right there. That's going in. We have the cap to a highlighter, the cap to a marker. This is a piece of a bag, like a plastic bag you'd get at a grocery store. Piece of a plastic cup. Notice it's got sharp corners all around. A cut piece of a blue plastic straw, and just for the fun of it, a Dave & Buster's token. So we'll throw that in there. And then here's a Pringles container thing. I don't want to throw this whole thing in there though, so we're not going to throw the Pringles container in. All right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to take the waterproof lid and push everything in there. And we're going to push it down. Obi! Hey! 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 Cut it out.
Stop it.
Obi! He's such a jerk. Way to ruin the experiment, Hope. Way to ruin it. So now I'm going to put the lid on tight. And it's got this little screw thing. And then we're going to take it upstairs and set it up.
And up we go. Do I cut it?
No. So right there, all screwed. You can hear it inside. I'm going to test it, make sure it's not leaking. Make it a little bit tighter. All right, now this is supposed to be silent, so I don't think we're going to hear it. But we're going to go in this room right now, plug it in, and leave it for a few weeks. All right. Okay, so it has been just about a month, and this has been tumbling at a normal speed, the lowest possible speed for a month. So we're going to open it up today and see what the plastic inside looks like. And then later on, we're going to be putting it under 2 different types of... All right, so that was all it was. Oh, so we took that part off. That's good. And now, I guess we take this lid off. Oh, I see foam inside. Lots of foam and brown water. Mason, come in and get a look at that. So we can see some brown water and some foam. So we're going to get a couple samples real quick. So I'm going to put it down So, here is the Dunkin' Donuts cup. Still sharp. The lettering has come off. There is some, if you can see there, it's still sharp, so it didn't dull at all. I had thought it might have dulled. Here's the highlighter pen. Here is your bubblegum wrapper. The edges are kind of rough now. The drinking straw. Here's the plastic bag. Oh, this is disgusting looking. But there is a big hole in it. That wasn't there before. This was just a solid piece of plastic. And we'll have to go back to the first video, and I should have measured it, but it looks like it's going to be larger than it was. The dental flosser is still in good condition. There's a rock in there. And the highlighter cap. So, on all outward appearances, it doesn't look like anything went away in the experiment. We can tell that the plastic bag did get some damage, and we'll see about everything else. What I'd like to do now is I'm going to go grab a black light, and we're just going to scan this water real quick and see if it fluoresces. So if you hold on 1 second. Okay, so while emptying the water, I found that missing piece of plastic inside the container. That's no bueno. That the plastic bags are that fragile in the environment that they can tear apart like that. So here's the sediment. Again, it was some samples that I took from different types of sand. I do have control samples left. To go under, but my goal is going to be to let this dry out, and then it's going to go under a microscope, and we're going to see if any of this debris will show up. Unfortunately, we'll have to do that at night under black light. Here's the Dave & Buster's token where all the silver has worn out. Right there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to let all this stuff air dry. I'm going to put these sample containers in there. And we will be back shortly to finish the job and the experiment. Okay, so the stuff has dried out. It's all been kept right here. We have a sample of our water, and we're going to put this stuff under the microscope, which we have connected to the computer right here, and we are going to look at it and see if we can find any, I guess what they're calling microplastics inside the thing. Remember, this is what I'm concerned about because this came up all shredded. So we're going to see if any of this came out microscopically. Okay, that looks, you can tell that's silica. Basic beach sand. Oh, what are those strings?
What is that? What?
Alright, so right on top of that black one. Okay, right there. On top of all these little stones, there are little threads of what appear to be plastic. I'm not seeing any pieces from the harder plastic, but if you look on every, oh, right there, those are some fibers. They look like they're plastic. So let's pull one up and we'll put it on the big microscope. All right. Yeah, you can. So this is neat. When I picked up the rock to do it, you can see the sand is hanging there. So let's put some on a slide and throw it under there. So here's something I want to see. What we've done is I've put it on the compound microscope, and I've got a non-lit image right now. We're going to top light it first, and then we'll light it from the bottom, and we can see what's up. Rowan, can you get the light for me? Now, see if you can get this part. I'm going to capture this shot. And then we're going to switch to the bottom light. And you can see up here with both lights going that this is still silica right here. This is some type of silica, and these are not moving. So what we're going to do is I'm going to manipulate them. Take the top light off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to manipulate them with the needle here, and we will see if they are flexible. So that to me looks like plastic. But I can't be sure because I don't have a chemical test to do it. But I'd say more than likely plastic. Let me see this. Now I do want to say it's, I don't know, a lot. Now I will say it's not, yeah, could you light that up for me? Yeah, so these lines right here, these threads have to be plastic. If you look down on it, you can see this whole piece of sand is stuck together. And there was no cloth in there. I don't know. So the results of my experiment, I'm officially here to say that, oh yeah, that breaks apart just like plastic. Look at, I mean, just like paper. Look at how easy that plastic breaks apart now. There's no elasticity to it. It just tears right on edge. Huh. So I'd say the results of my experiment are that the harder plastics are going to take longer to deteriorate. However, the edge of this is all rough now. However, plastic bags can be a problem because they seem to deteriorate quickly. This was only 3 weeks in a tumbler with salt water, and look at what happened. You can see it down on the microscopic level. So bringing your bag to the grocery store is actually a good idea. And even if the experiment proved it's wrong, what's wrong with, trying to keep the oceans and the planet clean by not littering anyway? So that's that. I will see you guys later. Thanks for joining me on the experiment.